in the second video of Crack It YouTube channel. Before we move on, I wanted to say a big thanks for the fantastic response each one of you gave us for the first video. We have been thrilled, we are excited, we are humbled, and at the same time we are thankful. And today we are going to see Group 2 and how they in balance as per our title. Are they seriously in balance? Let us see how they perform in this thing. So we have divided this video also into 3 segments. That's as we analyze the game, it should be power plays, middle overs, death overs. We are going to see how they perform in terms of scoring first, in terms of chasing. So we have some interesting facts and we are giving it in a completely different way for you to understand. This is the first graph we want to show it to you. This is the run rate in power play. If you could see, India enjoys chasing because when they are chasing, their run rate goes above 8, and Pakistan also have a better average when they are chasing, that's almost close to 8. But New Zealand has the best run rate when it comes to batting first, that's almost about 8. But if you see the bar, it's Afghanistan who have the highest one, but the number of matches they played, it's something like, we can't compare with all the other teams. So for this one, we are going again with New Zealand. But one thing, Afghanistan do not like chasing when it comes to. And now, this is the second one, in middle overs. And this is where the interesting part of the crucial part of the game. We know in traditional term, if you are an Indian fan, you would love to see the Pakistani column. If you are a Pakistan fan, you would love to see the Indian column. But 2020 is completely different. I know both of these camps will be looking at New Zealand column and they stand out. Look at that. It's in middle overs. Most of the teams lose the momentum, but it seems New Zealand is gaining. They clearly have the better average when they are batting first, and they clearly have the better average when they are chasing. And these two bars are almost at the same time. Afghanistan, again, do not like chasing. I don't know, numbers always say like that. And here comes the death overs. And this is very interesting because India again has the highest one when it comes to chasing, and Pakistan also loves chasing. They both launch at the death overs when they are chasing. But look at here, no one launches better than New Zealand. They are completely stand out. This is 10 mark, they are almost 14. So I think Nisham and Grandome and all these guys are put things into work, I guess, for New Zealand. But Afghanistan, when you see, you can see a drastic drop. So if you want to beat Afghanistan, please invite them to chase it. Now, since we have talked about the run rate, we want to talk about strike rate also, because more than the average, I think strike rate is something which gives you a broader picture in this manner. So when you just really take the strike rate, it's India has 120 areas. Again, they prefer chasing. Pakistan do have pretty much close to 120. They prefer chasing. New Zealand might not be in par with them when it comes to chasing, but when batting first, they have the highest. And Afghanistan also a little bit closer to New Zealand, but when it comes to this group, I would say. And guys, this is the strike rate in the middle overs. In middle overs is like something I'm very fascinated about because most of the teams loses their way. India has pretty much above 120 whether they bat or chase, but they prefer chasing. Pakistan almost have pretty much close to India. They are catching up with India, but they also have like same kind of numbers in terms of middle overs. But who stands out here? Again, New Zealand, and look at that. I think maybe Kane Williamson doing a great job. He rotates the strike and giving it to Seifert and Conway to strike it. I don't know how does that happen, but they have the better numbers. And Afghanistan, it's in par with this group average, but when they are chasing, it doesn't look good on them. And now, this is the death overs, because this is where you need to strike it. Maybe if you are an Indian fan and Pakistan fan, finally you can see a dip in New Zealand. So when we start with India, India has better one, maybe launching at the last point, maybe the India strategy, and they are very happy about it. Pakistan seriously do not have that firepower when it comes to their last moments of chasing, but they do have a good strike rate when they are batting first. But New Zealand again stands out, at least at least one bar is there to put New Zealand to rescue somewhere. And look at here, it's above 160. That's fantastic when it comes to death overs, because that's where you want to accumulate as much as possible. But Afghanistan seriously stands out. So on their days when Afghanistan batsmen do keep wickets, and when they strike it well, it seems to be working for them because they love batting first. Again, the worry is chasing when it comes to chasing. So now we are in the other aspect of the cricket, that's bowling, and how everyone is going to perform. Really surprising fact, and maybe if you are a Pakistani fan, a disturbing fact that Pakistan has the worst run rate of the group, which you normally don't expect because they have the factory of fast bowlers, so they should come and do the job. Maybe the pace the Pakistani quicks offering this time becoming a problem to them, and teams are like taking advantage about their pace. India has 7.5, considerably good run rate. Pakistan almost close to 8, that's mean like 0.5 ahead of India. When it comes to power play, these points do matters. New Zealand has, maybe they're not the best, but 7.6, they are in par with that. You can see the Afghanistan one is like very low here, but as we told in the previous section, Afghanistan didn't play much against these many countries because their most matches are against associate teams, so we can keep them aside. They might come at you, they might create upset, but at this point we have to concentrate on these 3 teams, and this is really surprising for me when it comes to. So this is that magical period, the middle overs. I always get fascinated about talking these things. You can see India's run rate has gone up because they had 7.5 in the power plays. It's higher than that, which you don't expect. Pakistan still have 8, that's even higher than India again, which you don't expect. But guys, this is where we need to understand a technical fact that after the retirement of Ajmal and Afridi, Pakistan lost the liberty and the luxury of employing these proper spinners and tightening the screws in the middle overs. They perhaps employ the likes of Shadab Khan, who are like, can be called as all-rounders, I'm not really sure about it, but they are like part-time spinners, part-time batsmen, they operate, so it doesn't look good on them. And here, this is what makes me laugh or smile again. New Zealand, and remember, when batting they score well in the middle overs, when bowling they give less in the middle overs. So this is a very crucial part, and they're doing it right at this time. You can see that Afghanistan has the best in terms of run rate in this group, but again, as we told, they played less against big teams and they mostly played there. But this should be given credit to the likes of Nabi and Rashid Khan. Maybe you can argue that they are playing in the international level and doing, but understand here Afghanistan solely depend on them. In international matches they have somebody to support them on off bad days. But here still we can say, if you are to go with numbers, you can say Afghanistan. And here the death overs. This is again a very fascinating thing. And Pakistan gives the highest rate. Maybe you can say New Zealand gives the highest rate, 9.6, but Pakistan gives 9.4. This may be again their quicks giving some pace for people. But India pull things up. They give 9. So we can say that Afghanistan might be giving around 8.6 rate. Same reason, but when we compare the best 3, it's actually India. But if you are to score against New Zealand, this is the period because their run rate is higher in this group. But you can see maybe this is where the pace bowlers comes and they operate and their paces are being taken for a ride. But this is what the numbers reflect as of now. Now we can see the bowling average. So who has the best average in power plays? Again, I fall back to New Zealand column. I don't seriously understand. The numbers fascinate me. But India has around 30, and Pakistan is also pretty much similar with that. So you can say their bowling departments are doing what they can at the best. But New Zealand picks up. It's like they are like in the 20s and these in 30s. So you can see a 10 gap. So that means Bolt is striking from the beginning, and that benefits New Zealand a lot. Afghanistan is catching up with everyone in this group, but on their day it could be they might put in roads to anyone. So now we are looking at the bowling average in the middle overs. Again, this fascinating period for me. And India's having pretty much close to 30. But that's a very surprising fact for me because they have the likes of the best spinners who are so much experienced in bowling in the middle overs, even in IPL. But Pakistan has a better figure than them because they are a little lesser than they are in the 25 leagues. New Zealand just about 20, so we have to say they do better in this thing, and Afghanistan is pretty much same with them. But so this is where the crucial period. So now we are going to see the death overs, and this is again one of the very crucial period when it comes to T20. And look at India; they are pulling back very strongly. They are in the 14 average, and Pakistan is like on 16 average. I would say these two definitely go in par. Maybe they are coming and they are putting their variations and they are striking things. New Zealand doesn't look good. They are in 18 average. Maybe I think when they bowl out their main bowlers in the middle overs, that may be reflecting because they are having better figure in the middle overs than the last overs. So there may be some strategies to be revived. We never know. And Afghanistan also have a good one, but you can't say this is because when it comes to Afghanistan, I'm still having a lot of uncertainties because of the matches they played. But as if now they have one of the best average going in par with India in this entire group. The thing about this group is if New Zealand has strength in the bowling department of particular part of the game, India has the batting strength in the other hand. When Pakistan edges ahead everyone, Afghanistan edges in the other side of this. So this group is going to be really crucial. But mostly Bangladesh might come here winning the qualifiers. Oman might come here. We never know. There's a lot of uncertainties around it. But this is going to be very cracker of the game. But we have a lot of issues to be tackled in this group. Perhaps New Zealand has a very good numbers. Do you think that they have, on the surface you might say they might not have a good T20 record in Asia, but remember in 2012 they took that strong Sri Lankan team to a super over and they only missed their semi-final chance to West Indies on a super over, and in 2016 they comprehensively beaten India. So they have bits and pieces of good performances in Asia that might sometimes reflect good here. When it comes to Pakistan, this is very, you might ask the legitimacy and authenticity of the figures of Pakistan. It is true that they played 30% of their T20 matches between 2019 to 2021 against Zimbabwe, but still we will take the figures and we just really go ahead in these things. So if you really see from the outside, you might say India is the clear front runner, but when you go inside, there are lots of checks and balance at every time. And don't forget, on their day, Afghanistan could be the dark horses, and on slow pitches, they thrive a lot. They might pose some big threat. So overall, if you just ask me one word in this group, are they in balance? Yes, they are in balance with. If you ask me to pick one clear winner from this group based on the stats and performances, I would go with New Zealand because they are a street smart team. They plan meticulously against all the opponents. So India and Pakistan first game is going to be really crunchy because whoever wins that game has an advantage. But don't forget, Afghanistan also might be dark horses. On their day they can upset anyone and they thrive in slow pitches. So they are in balance. Hopefully Bangladesh comes and join this group. So this group is going to be very, very tough in terms of qualifying. So New Zealand might go second place. It's hang between India and Pakistan. But pretty much soon I'll be coming you with the other group and see how they perform. Meanwhile, if you think worth subscribing to our channel, please subscribe, like and share this video with you. If you are an Indian fan, if you are a Pakistan fan, if you want stats to fight and put your argument on social media, you know where to come. That's to Crack It Group. So hopefully soon I'll meet you with another video. Until such time, enjoy the T20 World Cup, stay safe and be happy.